So just say, hey, everybody, this is episode 4 of our debate.
Yes.
I don't know. I think we're trying not to call it episodes or whatever.
Yeah,
but
it's episodes.
It's episodes. So episode 4 of our debate. I'm Craig.
I'm Scott.
Or if you reverse that, I'm Scott, and
I'm Craig.
I'm Craig. And he's the barbarian, and I'm the emperor. Or if you want to reverse that too, go for it. This is going to be interesting if my brain's doing this to us already. So that's great.
Yes. And what's our topic this time around?
The topic this time around is going to be narrative leveling versus traditional leveling.
Both good choices.
They're good choices, and what we need to... I really like what we've done in the past couple episodes. We define what it means. And we kind of did that in episode 1.
Yeah.
But
we did a roundabout
way.
Really,
like, it was definitely... it helped. Yeah. It helped to get us both on the right page. Okay. So,
you want to do... Take? Or we wrote
explaining... I think we're just talking about it in general. We're not debating.
No, I meant which one. Who's going to explain which one?
Oh, okay, all right. Well, let's do 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
I win. I take name.
No, paper or rock rips through paper.
You can't reinvent the rules to fit your.
No, you can. I seen it on Tremors. Mark,
let me use a movie from 20 years ago.
It's valid.
No, you lose.
Yeah, and did you see what movie I'm talking, right?
Yeah,
and then Val's like, wait a minute, paper wraps rock, it beats it. Yes. And then Michael Gross, who's I forget his character name, but he died, but he went through all of them.
Yep.
And he's like, paper always beats rock.
Yep.
It was like the one time he actually won because they had done it the whole time.
Yep.
Okay, all right, we are already off track. Already, whatever.
Love it.
Here we go.
So
traditional leveling versus narrative leveling. Which one you want?
I'm going to take narrative leveling.
Okay, cool.
Because that's my baby. That's the one I like now. Narrative leveling. This is where you level in a session. So at the end of your session, at the end of your previous session, your dungeon master or game master or whatever title will say everybody gets to level up.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to pick a moment in the next session when your character levels up.
Okay.
As opposed to
traditional leveling, which would be you do it at the end of the session, and usually it's at the end of the session because then everybody levels up their character offline. You come back and it's like, I'm ready to use my whatever, and you get the question of, do we level up? Do we level up? That's traditional leveling.
Yeah.
So
which one do you prefer?
Which one I prefer?
Yeah.
Well, before we really started talking about this, I was always like, okay, I always thought the debate was XP leveling versus milestone. That's kind of where I always thought the debate was. But then when we started talking about this, you proposed it. Then you said traditional versus narrow. I'm like, ooh, I really like picking a moment.
Right.
Because we kind of did that when we did Bellum and we were doing War of the Realms and everything. There was a lot of that kind of happened in there.
Yes.
It wasn't it wasn't always purposeful, but that was
right.
It was like my character Nesho had oaths that he was kind of doing, and it was like a play off of I've talked about it every single one of these, but Stormlight Archive, I love it. It's like one of my favorite series. You introduced it to me and I fell in love with it instantly. And they have oaths that they have to say. And so we kind of like played off that with a character. You're like, okay, find the moment you want to do it. And we actually waited to level them up a couple times because it was like, there wasn't a good moment. And
then you had to find the right oath because I think there were a couple times you're like, no. Yeah. You're not there yet. Keep workshopping.
Exactly. Yeah. Your words are not accepted kind of thing.
And one of the sessions I did, the words are accepted.
Yeah, exactly. We totally did it.
And everybody else was like, wait, what happened?
What happened? They're crazy. So we do, if we're talking about, and we had done it for years because we did War of the Realms. I mean, that was like 3-4 years ago when we started.
We're almost going out.
It could be 5 when we started it. We played it on and off for since then, really.
Yes.
And that's really been the way since the beginning. So I never really labeled it as that, but I always liked it.
Right.
I liked it. So
I finally found the words for it.
Yeah. So I guess
the words were accepted.
Exactly. So traditional leveling versus narrative leveling. So I just want quick recap because we talked a lot. We might have got lost. Traditional leveling is going to be
your standard
end
level.
Of your session. Yep. It could be XP based. It could be milestone based. Whatever. That's up to you all. And we'll talk about that a little bit during this. But and then you have
the narrative, which is like you finding that moment. It's almost like in the story when the character goes in anime when they go Super Saiyan or they unlock that new power or whatever.
Power up.
Yeah, or like that wizard that keeps pushing, and finally like they break that lock.
Yeah,
Wheel of Time.
Through.
They break through those blocks that they have for channeling.
What moment I'm thinking of when you say that.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that was an
but
awesome
it's those
moment.
cool story moments where it's impactful for your character. It's impactful for the moment. Like I had a player one time wait until like everybody was on their death door, and he like it was an oath of conquest paladin, and that's the moment he chose to level up and actually get like his paladin aura and all this stuff, and just started wrecking house. And
that's awesome.
Like, yeah,
like that's a perfect moment.
Yes,
talk about telling cool stories, which is the whole point.
Yeah,
right.
Or that. Yeah,
there's a whole debate about that one.
Yeah, and then there's a downside to narrative leveling.
So let's explore narrative leveling a little bit more, because I think that's really interesting, and it's not something that most people think about.
No, not at all.
And so narrative leveling, some of the things with it is, when do people get the things they would normally get when they level up? Like, how does that work? Because
so right now we're going to talk about some of the downsides.
I'm going to put a counterpoint to how that goes. So traditional leveling, the illusion is in people's mind is that you do it at the end of the session. You get the level up. All your characters go to sleep because they might have probably figured a big adventure. They wake up and they have all their spells. They have all their new HP. They have all their whatever, right? They get their new toys, and they get to wake up on Christmas Day and play with them. Or whatever holiday you celebrate.
Right out the get-go.
And so in contrast to that, traditional leveling, or narrative leveling, whatever.
Is, so you would technically have two character sheets that you'd have to have at the same time. Because you need your old level and then your new one. And the other downside is you have to keep track of hit points, spell slots, bardic inspirations, any of those other tracking things. Because when you would level up to the new one in the middle of the session, where your moment is, you don't magically heal all the way up. You don't get all your spell slots back. You don't get all your resources. You would, however, have access to whatever those new resources are.
Okay.
So think of it as, let's go wizard. Say I have I'm not quite 5th level, so I have no 3rd level spells. But I choose this epic moment where I need to save all my friends from the horde of minions. I am out of 2nd and out of 1st level spell slots. I choose that moment for my character to level up. I have access to a 3rd level spell.
Wonder what it's going to be.
Fireball. Right. But I would have whatever health I also had. Now you would have your new HP map.
Right.
But
but you found a reserve of strength and
or your body you finally hit that next block of like the weave, or however you want to explain magic. Like your well got bigger, so now you can draw in higher level stuff.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. You said that, and what it made me think of is you have like somebody that's trying to they're trying to learn Fireball, like if they really got into how that would work, like they're trying to do it, and then like the Dungeons and Dragons movie, if you haven't seen it, spoiler,
that magic
but at the end of the magic guy keeps trying to attune to the helmet, and he keeps getting his butt kicked each time. It's like, you will not attune, and then at the end, the epic moment, he attunes, and it's like, boom, we're making it happen. And that's the kind of thing, like he's trying, and so they're trying to do the Fireball, all of a sudden it's like, level up. You know, like,
cool. They find that reserve of strength, that reserve power. So those are some of the negatives. That means you have to keep track of a little more stuff.
Okay.
Which, for a cool epic moment, I'll keep track of whatever you need.
Yeah.
But also, like, that could also
might be a little easier for some people.
Yeah.
So like a barbarian, it might be a little easier.
Bards, that could be the moment when your bardic inspiration steps up a notch too.
Yeah. Or a stressful moment, and you're really trying to accomplish something.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, instead of a D6, it's now a D8 or whatever, right? Because I leveled up.
Yep.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Like you find that tune in your head that just gives it a little extra something. Yeah. Whatever zest you want to put on that.
Naturally, this is going to involve the players really cooperating with the DM. how the moment's gonna happen or how it's gonna
They
go.
can have an
But you're
idea.
giving them some
Yeah.
creative licensing
Yeah,
to it.
because
Okay.
you also are going to kind of know generally. You kind of have an idea of what the next session's going to kind of sort of look like. Because I would do this right before a big battle. I would end right before they're at the big boss. Be like, okay, everybody, you are going to level up. Next week we're fighting big baddie here. You need to figure out what moment in the story. You can set up a queue. You can just set up however you want with them. Yeah, but every one of you are not coming leveled up. You have to figure it out in the moment.
Yep. And then it gives them opportunity to create their sheet, and then they.
Yep, and it also gives them a moment to talk about stuff because maybe two characters have a story together, and it's that moment. It could be a million little diamonds in the rough.
And I don't want to get too off topic because this could really go on the side, but I do like it when we have moments where the characters can work together and talk. And it's not always negative. It doesn't have to be conspiratorial towards the DM, but maybe it's like, hey, wouldn't it be really cool if our characters did this and all that type of thing?
Have characters have side chats all you want.
Yeah, that's fun.
I don't need to be privy to it unless you're trying to do some shenanigans, and then I just need a word or two.
Yeah, help me out. We had a whole thing. We did that with the All Evil campaign.
Yeah.
Where we had this whole thing where our whole Wayward Children. Well, we did a little play. You probably don't know this about me, but I like Brandon Sanderson's stuff.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever know? Wax and Wayne.
Yep.
All their little like things they always say, oh, that's a tube run, and they would never really have them worked out, but they would always just like apply it, and they'd be like, what? That, and they would talk back and forth, and they eventually broke it down in the series. And like, do you know? And he's like, no, we just make it up.
Yeah, exactly. Every time, and that's what we did.
And so we took the same thing and just had fun with it.
Yeah,
and that was
everybody
really cool.
else at the table, and even the DM was like, wait, what's going on?
Oh yeah, it was great because it was a secret language we would have.
We'd have a document open and we'd be writing messages.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun doing it back and forth. Anyways, but what about traditional? What are the things that we really like or enjoy?
I think
about it?
The good thing about traditional leveling is if everybody does that at the end of the session, everybody can talk about it. Because if there's like 8 players and 2 or 3 of them are bards, it might be like, hey, what spells are you taking? So I don't take them.
Yeah.
Which you could also do that with narrative, though.
That's true. And if you're giving them enough heads up.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're in the middle of the session and you're like, hey, you're leveling up. You pick a moment in the next hour and you're going to do it.
But that could, if your players want to do it that way, that would be kind of cool.
They could, because they'd have some stuff and then they'd figure it all out. And
right.
I think that's one of the...
For me, traditional leveling, I think it's just more streamlined. People kind of know how to do it easier.
Familiar? Yeah,
familiarity, and it's easy peasy, and you get to play with your brand new toys at the start of it. Yeah. You don't have to sit there the whole time and be like, is this the right moment? Is this the right moment? Yeah. It's really good for new players to understand the mechanics.
So it is something you can introduce. And nobody says there's a set rule where you always have to do leveling this way. You could change it a little bit. And characters...
I've seen people do it to like a certain level, like so you get to level 3 when all the subclasses come online.
Okay. So big ones. Usually it's like level 3, level
like 5, but they did say
6.
Up to level 3 we're doing traditional. At level 3 we'll do it. Once again, session 0 thing to talk about.
Session thing.
Because the word of the year is communication.
Communication, that's right. So I'm just going to give you a line like last time.
Okay.
And then you tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
So let me know. But I don't know if you want to give me the rating before or after.
I'll give you the rage after I answer.
Rage after, okay. The question or the statement is XP leveling created the murder hobo. And we're all pretending it didn't.
Yes and no. Yes, because most people if you look at any of the handbooks, do they tell you how to XP for exploration? Nope. Do they tell you how to XP for social? AKA roleplay? No. All they give you is, I kill goblin, I get this much. So I say yes and no to that.
So yes to the murder, like
yes,
just encourages
it encourages it because that's generally when people do XP. I get XP if I kill things. I kill everything. You get murder hobos.
Yeah, you murder.
You get feral children.
Yes. kind of silly.
Okay, I'm gonna say the rage meter is probably a 1 for that.
Okay, 1 out of
10?
10.
Yeah.
So
Let's
low
keep-
rage.
Yes.
So it was pretty truthful.
Yeah,
Statement.
yeah, it
Okay.
didn't make me mad because it's pretty truthful.
And so I just want to follow this up with the question: Did XP break D&D?
No.
No.
I think the way players or game masters used XP created the problems that D&D has.
Okay, I think I
Like,
agree with
like I said,
yeah, yeah.
how are like there's 3 pillars of play in tabletop: combat, which D&D, good job, you get a gold star. Social encounters. If I solve my problem diplomatically, shouldn't I get just as much experience? I beat an encounter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then exploration. If I'm going around learning the secrets to solve that, I should get something.
Right, right.
And then the other problem that you run into with XP is, okay, so if I'm in combat, the cleric that's just healing people to keep everybody fighting, he didn't kill anything. How much XP does he get?
XP leveling turns your RPG into a video game grind.
Yes, 100%.
I think absolutely 1,000% on that one.
Yep.
I did enjoy the grind of a video game
To a certain degree.
to a certain degree. So I want to just quantify that. So
Okay.
a couple different ones. Breath of Fire. It's one of my go-to
Yep.
leveling system, or Chrono Trigger, either one of those.
Yep.
The leveling is pretty reasonable. Now, did you have to kill a bunch of things to be able to do stuff? Kind of, but you could level up relatively quickly.
Yeah. If you knew the tricks. And
If you knew the tricks and whatever. Like, you weren't like, it never felt like you were in a single level for like ever.
yeah.
Like
you just had to sit there and keep grinding and healing to be able to get
yeah,
forward.
like an hour in wherever level you're at, you could easily gain 2 or 3 levels. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. I mean, maybe people feel differently, whatever, but that felt reasonable.
Yeah.
Versus like something like MMO RPGs and stuff like that.
Yes.
You start in the beginning, it's like that, but then you get to the end, and it's like you're trying to go from like a level 67 to level 68.
And it's like an 18-hour thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you get like 10%. And you're just like,
Oh,
well,
and
I'm
then
in the
you
end of the
die and
game
you lose
area.
3%.
Yeah.
And
Or someone comes
yeah.
along and PvPs you, and then you lose all your gear.
oh, yeah, there's so many rage moments with that can
Yes.
make you mad. And,
Yes.
Turning it into a video game grind, I say mostly yes, but there is moments when, that wouldn't feel that way. You could do it as a reward system in the beginning to get players used to it.
You could run it as like a guild hall, and you're doing little quests to build up your rank or whatever.
Maybe that's part of it, is you give them narrative control. Like, maybe is there a hybrid to it where you say, well, you're doing a guild, you complete this mission, you're going to get 1,000 XP for it or something, depending on what's appropriate for the level. All right, here's another one.
Okay.
Milestone leveling gives the DM total control over player progression.
If it's a good DM, GM, whatever's doing it, they might have moments, but if the characters are doing things creatively, moving the story in different ways than what they expected, that might make you level them up sooner or make them wait a little more.
Okay. I mean, there is. I remember Descent into Avernus doing that whole campaign, and I was really following the book for the most part, and they give recommendations of when the level characters up. But I remember we would go on side quests sometimes, and I have to get creative, and it's like the players did a tremendous amount of work. Like there was a little bit of the questioning, like, do I get to level up? Do we get to, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Kind of thing. And there was this like, usually like every 2 to 3 sessions was my high level gauge. Like if we're doing 2 to 3 sessions, I should probably be leveling people up. Depending on what's
the other
going.
thing is, so you could give little nuggets out at levels.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
too.
they acquire a new skill, or
you did something
here.
cool. You spent a whole bunch of time practicing with
XYZ, you got a
with
new proficiency,
XYZ. You got
new language.
You gained a feed or something.
Kind of like the bonus leveling up I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
I feel like it was like
a little nugget.
Sokka in The Last Airbender when he trained with the Fire Lord. Or not Fire Lord.
The sword guy.
The sword guy, yeah.
Yeah,
And he
exactly.
did like the whole thing, and he like he totally leveled up his skills.
Oh yeah,
right?
100%.
That was really cool. there is a risk of over leveling characters, and maybe that's a counter argument for XP. I don't think it definitely doesn't outweigh it.
It's either
But-
or, because
but you can over-level.
Yeah, milestone you can do that easily.
Yeah. Like we ended up Descent into Avernus, and I think you all were like 15 or 16.
I think 15.
And then the recommendation at the end of that was like 12. So you went like 3
Right.
4 levels over.
But it was several newbies and people that hadn't played in a while.
Yeah. And part of the argument or counter argument on that is like that's part of the DM's job is to
Yeah.
control how the progression of the
Yeah.
game going, controlling the tempo, controlling the
Yeah.
So
And sometimes players could speed that up or slow it down because maybe they're getting closer to that big bad a lot sooner than you thought, and you're like,
yeah, I expect you to be a level higher for that one. You might
Yeah.
want some of your toys.
yeah, ooh.
But with
Maybe level 1 shouldn't go to the Lich's lair.
yeah, maybe not. So I think the question with that one is who controls leveling?
See, ultimately it's the DM, like the person running the game, but you take your cues from the players.
Okay.
And the story.
Yeah,
Sometimes
makes
the story changes.
I think what this has turned, let me back up. What I feel like this has turned into, traditional versus narrative, I feel like what we've done is we are saying narrative is the way, and all the reasons why traditional kind of stinks. And not only that, but if you are doing traditional, XP leveling is just the worst. Don't do it. Avoid it
It makes, I feel like it makes your life more difficult.
unless it tickles your fancy, and then go for it.
Yeah, and then if you do it correctly and you and your group have done it, let me know, please. I'd love to know.
I think there's a couple of classifications of players,
Yeah.
right? In determining what those are. So you got players that are just kind of there and they want to observe for a little bit, and then they might jump in.
Yeah.
You got other ones that really like watching this, being part of
Right.
it by being there.
And that's part of the conversation have with him. Like, oh, do you like? Okay, your character, what would get them to the next step?
Mhm.
So maybe it's you and the player figuring out that together.
And then DM creates an opportunity. I think what I'm trying to figure out here is identifying players that have a resistance to whatever way you're doing it, and they could just simply be maybe they've been doing narrative leveling and now they have to do traditional, and they're like, I hate this, like this sucks,
Right, which is fair.
right?
But also,
Communication,
but also, not every game is for everyone.
it's true too.
If you no D&D is better than bad D&D is the stance I take.
That's a really good point. That's a super good point.
If I'm not
And
getting
it's easy to
enjoyment
forget.
out of it, I'm not doing it.
Does traditional leveling encourage motor hobo behavior? I think our thing was yes, kinda. It can contribute,
Yeah.
but it's up to the DM to do the
Yeah.
pacing on that one.
Also, you do have to teach your players that actions have consequences.
Does
Good
narrative
and bad.
does narrative leveling remove player agency over progression?
It's actually giving more player agency.
Yeah, because they have the ability to, they can do this story. They know there's the reward. If we go to the more abusive relationship between player and DM, and that's things are being withheld on one side or another, then I could see that maybe.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about in a healthy player and DM relationship, we'll call it relationship, then
Yeah, if I'm saying, hey, you guys get to level up, figure out a time in this 4-hour window.
that's a lot of agency.
Right? That's up to you.
Like, how
That's
do you
not on
do?
me.
Exactly.
Unless you want it to be, and then I can spotlight it to where you take over.
And the other statement I want to make is, leveling should represent story growth and earned experience.
Yeah.
Like, they're absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely true.
And for me, that's why traditional leveling kind of feels stale and
So narrative leveling. Here's kind of a checklist if it's for you. Narrative leveling could be for you. You might want to consult your doctor and decide, but side effects could include whatever. But anyways, the campaign, if the campaign is story driven, the campaign has major story arcs or chapters, then maybe that might actually be a qualification for traditional leveling, but not XP leveling because it's stupid. Character growth is, and this is, I agree with 1,000%. Character growth is tied to emotional or narrative moments. Absolutely 1,000%. If it's that for sure, narrative leveling is for you.
Yeah.
And you should disagree with your doctor if they say otherwise.
Yes. Side effects can include more enjoyment out of life, better player experiences,
Exactly.
and higher satisfaction level. But if you're satisfied for more than 3 weeks after narrative leveling, please do consult your doctor.
If you want leveling tied to plot achievements, so that could be the moment, right? That's a good indicator of that. So narrative leveling this is my other checklist. So narrative leveling, when it works best with players, right? They enjoy role play and story progression. Yeah. So in versus, you got a bunch of murder hobos. They're probably not going to be nothing but murder hobo. Like as a DM, you quickly figure out, okay, I got a whole group here that just wants to murder. Do I put the effort in and try to convert them over to other avenues? I'm going to probably tickle it in. That's always preferred, right? You want to expand and challenge your players to be better, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes
all they want to do is murder things.
Sometimes
I know what we're doing.
They just want to do it, and they want cool toys, and they want to do it, and away we go. If
traditional, it is
traditional, it is because they want a clear reward system. But if they enjoy role play at least a little bit, or they're cool with the thing, and then narrative leveling.
Yeah, if they're fully in their character, like you were with Nesho, like there's so many emotional moments besides the murdering of the wife.
If they prefer faster sessions and not having to keep track of a bunch of XP or other things, or really like they want to be able to go. I know that does counter what you were saying, where you're saying, well, if it's narrative, then they might have to have 2 sheets for that session. Yeah, depending on this. I think it depends on the character, and
if you're doing spellcaster, you gotta keep track of some stuff.
Yeah. If they want to focus, and we're talking about narrative leveling that works best with players, they focus on character development. And if they want to follow the story leads naturally. So if they're very in tune with the story leads, then these are all good indicators to say narrative leveling is going to really work for your characters. They're going to be into it, and you should be able to suss this out during session 0. Right? This shouldn't be a surprise 2 or 3 sessions in. Maybe. But largely, you should have a feeling about it in session 0.
Yeah, you should at least bring it up if you're thinking about doing it.
Yeah. I mean,
gauge everybody's interest and be like, hey, after level 3, we'll have a reconvene.
Yeah.
Because I think at level 3, it'd be good to switch over to this other.
We talked about narrative leveling. I'm going to re-hit the list really quick. And so they enjoy role play. They don't really want to do a whole lot of bookkeeping. They focus on character development, and they follow the leads naturally. If those are the things, then definitely narrative is for them, kind of thing. Because you could be exploring and trying to decide, well, what way do you want to do it? Right. Traditional leveling, they want like a clear reward system. They like tracking progress. They engage heavily in combat and tactics, aka murder hobos, and they like optimizing encounters. So they're into I would say this leans more towards a mechanical. And expectations.
They're in a really crunchy, granola kind of.
Yeah. So then they want traditional leveling. So I think it's a good way to identify between the two. Yeah. XP leveling is for poop.
Yeah, we're not a fan of it. But like I said, if you in the comments have done it well, you have good stories to share, please share. I'd love to hear them.
Yep, I agree.
Because I can't say never. I've very rarely heard good XP leveling stories.
Yeah.
I've only really heard the horror stories.
It usually feels like you do XP leveling when you're kind of new and you're reading it, and if in the book, and you're like, ooh, this, like you get the comfort in the mechanical because you can read the rule, you're not interpreting it. Narrative leveling is definitely the net wave. It should be the way of the future for things.
I hope so.
For DMs, I kind of want to go on a campaign of, this is what we're doing, right? I almost feel like creating like a little guide of, this is how we do things here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
For players, and it's like,
especially for new players that we bring in.
All right. Well, we're gonna continue to do this each week. Yeah. We're gonna work on getting have new debate topics. Yes. If people have debate topics that they really want us to talk about, put them below. We have a pretty healthy list that we created. We've been creating. We've been adding and doing stuff. But if you have some cool topics you want us to do, we want to consider those. Yeah. Maybe if your topic is cooler, we want to do that instead.
Yes. Also, let us know. Which one do you prefer? Did we convert you? Are you like, no, I'm never doing narrative? That's silly.
Yeah, you're dumb.
That sounds like so much more work. You guys are crazy. It could never work.
We kind of just created
Guess
a
what?
propaganda machine on why narrative leveling is cool and why traditional leveling sucks.
I know. And guess what?
You're welcome.
You're all going to be converted.
Convert the masters.
One of us. One of us. One of us.
That could be a thing that we do too. Like, have you heard the good word? Why narrative leveling is better than traditional leveling? And they're like, what?
Have like a little pamphlet.
Yeah, traditional leveling might be for you. All right. Well, I think we're all good.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all hanging out. And any closing statements? Good. I think we've done it.
I think we're good.
We're doing the Midwestern goodbye today. My bad. So, anyways, thank you everybody.
Yeah.
And until next time, when we see you
at the
at
table.
the table.